Hey, it's Shabes. Yeah. What can I say? It's crazy. We've had two of these kinds of videos. Um, get the kind of reaction that they've been having this in 1 year. Sure is quite the year for me to not be doing digest, huh? Amazing, just amazing. And this is actually about this time actually. I didn't even realize it actually, because my summer's been shit. Uh, that this would have been the start of a new season of Digest. I would decide whether I keep going with it or not. I'm obviously not. No, it is what it is. I'm sorry to disappoint, but you know, still got some in me. This is the Anime Men, which I did cover in Digest before, and I was nice to them. But this is crazy, man. Like, because the thing is that like I I hadn't seen them like rank other anime, and they also didn't really touch older stuff. So I feel like this is a lot, like a bulk of it's like new activity for them. But yeah, uh, they're not they're not getting great reception on this one at the you don't hate anime YouTubers enough. uh, yeah, that they're not this video, yeah, they're not doing so hot on this one. This was not a yeah, maybe it flops and they take it down. We'll see. But the thing is that what their thing is the most popular anime from each year. Honestly, I've not seen that. I don't know what that batch of shows is. I think that's but then and so like you're seeing what like is showing up on Mal. It's terms of the most popular in terms of by membership probably. So you're getting stuff like classics, like pretty good stuff actually. I mean, it's just sad to hear that they seem to have a lot of disrespect, or they probably have some like terrible takes. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I want to try to make this a little more constructive and be like, okay, they've actually kind of compiled an interesting list here, and let's see what that list is. And this would probably be a pretty good beginner's guide, or like kind of a first, a good a good palette of shows, I think. So let's find out what those shows are, and it's gonna be muted audio, because again, I don't really care what they have to say about this shit. Man, a little bit of attack number one in there. Oh boy, they're super smiley and happy to watch this shit. Are they gonna start from from 61? Instant history. Oh no. Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would be instant. Yeah, all right. But I guess they're TV anime, most popular anime. They don't really specify, so it could be just a mix of whatever. Otogi manga calendar. Okay. So honestly, like, this is kind of a rough hand because, yeah, like, this is TV stuff, but let me actually kind of look at the seasonal chart, or I guess, because they're probably that's the thing. If you're going by the Mal chart here, it would be like split into seasons, so you'd have to kind of like determine which of the four. Spring. I'm just looking to see what Toei released that year. Anju do Suishimasu, which is more popular than Instant History. So they could have watched this movie. So it's likely that there's going to be no movies on here, which means that for whatever is in 88, it's not Akira. They don't watch, maybe they do. Okay, there's nothing new. So 2.2 this is Arabian Night, the Sinbad movie. I heard amazing things about this, but this still has more than Instant History. And then it definitely has more than Otogi. Yeah, so they're almost definitely just going for TV anime only. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. You gotta watch Tales of the Street. I shouldn't say that. I've seen Tales of the Street Corner. Now this is interesting. Now I kind of want to, like, if we include movies and stuff. I wind up doing that at the end of this video. We can see that results at the end of the video. Because, yeah, of course you're not going to... Of course, Otogi manga calendar, no one's going to be mad at you for whatever. But I don't know what they say about them, but this is, like, what you start the video with is interesting. Of course, Tetsuo and Adam. That makes sense. And they said something interesting about it, I guess. They're just okay. No, yeah. No, they are watching it, but it's all on YouTube. It's anything they can get, pretty much, off of like not torrenting. Well, like this would I understand with Astro Boy because it's not like I'm probably watching it dubbed. This is the official upload, I believe. Yeah, yeah. Yep, it's Nozomi's. Right. So they're watching the dub and everything. Very cool. F, of course. Yeah, that was shit. Big X. Oh no. Okay. Now I want to see. Astro Boy is obviously what's going to be there. Oh no, I don't want to see what they're to Choco Taite, but and I'd say Kimba's a good pick for 65, but they're definitely not going to understand like how remarkable Kimba is. Not even for its time. Like some of the actually like not as low of a rating, interestingly enough. Probably because it's not black and white. They probably can't stand that. Osamatsu-kun from 66. Interesting. This is so surreal. It just like look at this thing. Oh god. Oh man, Mako Go. Yeah, well, I'm not even gonna look at that. That's undoubtedly the most popular one in 67, and that's also like a really interesting pick and everything. I think it's Tatsunoko's first, and so many artists are on that one, and you know, and everything. D again. Wow. Again, because it's in color. 60. Oh gosh. The 60s adaptation is D tier. So 69 Dororo. That's about right. I wonder if this is going to be F. This first episode is directed by Osamu Dezaki. They're only doing one episode at a time for each of these. So D. Woo! Hey, not bad, not bad. And they could say that kind of like that's the best of the popular ones that they had seen. And yeah, that's the slate. Okay, yeah, here's Ashinojo, and they definitely put this as C tier. I already know that. I just want to see what clips they show of this. But did they say what like the first sports anime? I feel like they did. I don't know, they mouthed it. I'm going to keep my principles and not listen to any of this. I really can't. Okay, so it's different groups. It's different guys that are doing 60s through, you know, they're splitting the tasks up basically. So, okay, Lupin part 1. That makes sense. This first episode's really fun. But and they show an image of part 3. Okay. And of course like oh yeah, that's just like a slate on the. That's a nice collage. I don't know if they made it. D tier. Devilman, 1972. Actually surprising that it's this and not Mazinger. That's pretty surprising. Bro's not even watching it. And they show that. Okay. D. Oh, no. No! Are you kidding me? That... Are you kidding me? Doraemon 1973? No! That shit's lost media! You've got to be kidding me. That's awful. That's so bad. The slate's not looking amazing so far. We haven't. The highest we've gotten is a C. Out of about 10 years of anime. What are we doing here? Oh, is this the ad? Gotcha. Heidi. I already know this is a C or D. I don't remember. Kiss anime logo. Ah! Damn, bro. C. Yeah. Okay. Look, it's their like acceptable rating, you know, at the very least. Oh gosh, UFO Grandizer. Yeah, that makes sense. It's very, very popular in other parts of the world. And there isn't a ton in 75 besides like Gamba that I know of. So that's understandable. I don't know what they did there. D. Candy for 76? I thought it was, wait a minute, really? Oh, D, wow. What the fuck was this? What were they even doing? I don't even know. They didn't even fucking, they're not even like doing anything. Like what the hell was that? Oh, Voltes. Wow. Yeah, that would also make sense given the popularity in other countries, etc. F tier? What made Grandizer a D but Voltes an F? Future Boy Conan. What are they doing? What are they doing? What do they give this one? Do they even know this is Miyazaki? That's not in the first episode, by the way. The shit that they're just showing the trailer. A. Mirai Shonen. What? They did give Future Boy Conan an A because Miyazaki. Maybe they sensed it. Maybe they do. Gundam C tier. Oh no. Oof. Oh man, Densetsu Kyojin Ideon. Yeah, F. I already know this one. And to be fair, let's be honest, fellas. It's not the strongest first episode. It's a good first episode. But like, oh, you know, what's a better first episode for Tomino stuff? Obviously Gundam. I think that's honestly Gundam, I think, is his best one. Turne's pretty good. But the others I don't remember having as strong feelings about. Yeah, Gainer's interesting. Gainer certainly is interesting, but it's very like, it just bleeds into the second one. It doesn't feel, it's very rushed. Yeah, I that one's at least memorable. I actually, it doesn't, the others don't really stick in my mind as much. Ideon does. Ideon does stick in my mind in a good way. Oh, Zeta. Zeta's also great. With the first episode. I have not seen Dunbine yet. I haven't seen a couple of his so far. Ursa Yatsura. Yeah. It's a pretty good first episode, but maybe a C or a B. Whoa. Hey. Oh, look. They're horny. I understand. They probably gave their justification for it, but like, yeah, no, they don't like mecha at all. And I bet they're very like, it's fortunate in their instance that like magical girls are typically not so far there's not been any magical girls that show up here. Macro's F. Holy shit. Don't know what they'll give this one. I don't know what their feeling on sports anime is. Because they've probably seen Haikyuu. Knowing, getting the vibe. C. Okay. So, like, a lot of yeah, okay. This is the North Star. This is a great first episode, but we'll see what they say about it. Maybe B. That would be nice. They're making these reaction shots as if, like, what if they're not watching it? What if they're just, like, how do you know? Like, how would you know? And you know what? I bet it's Toei. I bet they just, they didn't want to fuck with it at all, and maybe they just haven't. Why did they show the thing? Yes, it's B tier. I had a feeling that one wouldn't be so bad. Touch? Oh boy. Well, this is very slice of lifey, so I don't know if they'll like this one as much. Maybe a C. And you know what? I should also keep track of the two groups and kind of see their differences here. I'm gonna go back and do that. Oh man, Dragon Ball with the A group. This is probably A or S, if I had to guess. Because the thing is, they've seen all of it. At least I hope they've seen the original, and not just Z or whatever. Oh boy. It's probably S. Let's be honest. What? Excuse me? I don't want to find out their reasoning, but like, what? Huh? What? What? What do you mean? That's so funny. Oh yeah, Samurai Troopers, of course. Being Gooby. F tier. Okay. This is also a good first episode, but these kind of just. All right. Censored. You don't see penis in Ranma half. I'm pretty sure you see boob, but you don't see penis. But maybe they like that. B. Huh. Okay. A little weird for them, maybe. Nadia. Oh boy. I don't know what they feel about that one because it's not mecha in the first episode. It's like flying competition. It's very unlike the rest of. Wait, what? Wait, huh? Wait, huh? Who was that? What? What show did they watch? Oh yeah, this is the one that I was quote tweeting and stuff. I'm actually surprised that it's the most popular of 1991. F, right? Yeah. What is he yelling about? I'm so curious, but I just simply can't. I can't afford to lose brain cells on that. The B group is not what. Like, the A group are really powering through and really watching all this stuff. They've already seen it. I think that because they'd seen it. But maybe not. It's a very good first episode. InuYasha episode 1 is one of the best ones, for sure. Hey! Yay! Okay, so this is the first Magical Girl show to show up in this list. 90. Oh, Sailor Moon S. Hold on. Oh gosh. Yeah, they kind of jumped in the middle of that one. Yeah. C for Ava, which is very nice of them, considering their hatred for mecha. Okay, Detective Conan. Oof. C, but they gave it a thumbs down? What the hell? Yes. I'm sure this guy doesn't have to watch the first episode. He's probably already seen this one. With an exclamation point. I agree, it's in my top 5. But, yeah. Okay. That's a favorable rating, for sure. Yes. That's another one that they probably don't have to really watch because they've already seen it. It would be really shitty if, like, they kind of, like, are judging these shows that they have seen in their entirety, on their entirety and not just on the first episode. Whereas these other ones, they're just judging up. Then I don't even know, clarifying that it's just one episode or whatever. I have no idea. This is another Rimito. Here's the oh geez. Here's another kind of weakness of the most popular thing is that, like, you get a lot of the same authors and stuff, but you get some interesting picks, to be honest with you, like Hellsing, but it makes sense for O1. Naruto, A tier. S tier actually. I think I know this one, but hey, I like Naruto. B group gets FMA 03. I want to see what they think about this one. And the thing is, right, are they going to do FMA and then FMA-B? A group gets Bleach. They got 2 of the big 3. And Dragon Ball. Jeez. C tier for Bleach! Ah! Oh, dear. See, you can't call them Shonen Slop when they give Dragon Ball a D. What did they just give Mushishi? A. No, it's hard to hate Mushishi. It's just you gotta not be, if you're not in the mood for it. Yeah, see, they've already seen Death Note. They can gush about it. They don't have to fucking watch the first episode. TBH with Death Note, it's a decent first episode, but there are better first episodes. Okay, fan art, that's just not credited. Very cool. And this is like another one that they've probably already seen, so they can actually give it a fair rating. Toradora. Probably not in the mood for this one. I just was noticing, too, that they're in different rooms. A group is in different rooms. So they could have been recorded in 2 different days. So you can maybe also discern that. Because if you want to say about, like, the mood that they're in when they watched these things, because they're in the mood and, like, binging these shows affects their judgment as well. Fairy Tail, they gave this an A, right? People were obviously dunking on them with that as well. There's no F tiers. Onisama A was the last F tier. Because I think if other people took on this challenge that are more like retro oriented, they might give, you know, they might give these other D tier on Angel Beats. Look at that, but still not an F. I'm happy, singing to the OP is cute and everything. I don't know what they keep pointing to the bags for. Like, they're not being sponsored by the chip company. Yeah, obviously. This is one I haven't seen anybody screenshot their take on this one. I'm interested. I don't know where they'll land on this one. It's a very strong, very compelling first episode, but I feel like they'd already seen it. So they probably have like the full scope of the show, which affects their judgment of it. Huh. Wow. I would have, I could have seen that coming, but I didn't want to judge, I didn't want to judge. Attack on Titan S tier, of course. They, again, don't have to have seen that one. The first episode of that one. They already know. Ha! Really? Oh, boy. Oh, they've loved the piss out of that one. A lot of fans probably don't really appreciate that. I bet that's so funny. Wait, really? Wow, that's crazy. The first One Punch Man, but maybe it's like they take season 2 into account. I don't know. That's crazy, man. Wow. I'm not even that much. I give it a middling rating to One Punch Man too, but like in terms of just consensus, I don't know. I was just surprised to see that. Oh yeah. This is interesting. They watched the first episode of Black Clover, which was notoriously shat on when everybody watched it when it came out because of the voice acting. I was there, and I watched it out of spite because of that. And then they gave it an A tier. That's crazy. Over MHA. They're not pleasing anybody on this. Oh, gosh. That's incredible. I'm actually shocked that Violet Evergarden was able to be the most popular for 2018. That's impressive. But yeah, it was pretty big. See, like, they've already seen it. I think their reaction here is like they've already seen it and they're just going through the motions and giving their impression because they'd already, they know what it is like later on. Interesting. A group again. These guys get all the shonen. That's crazy. So wait, is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 going to be here as well? They have not had any repeats. But I feel like that's just a coincidence. Horimiya, I'm surprised, actually. Wow. Kind of strange, actually. B tier for a rom-com. There's really like almost no rom-coms either. What are they doing? We got 2 more years left. Who's watching this? Oh, A group. Okay. And then they have solo leveling A. What do they have at the end of the video? They're just dancing. Because they're so... Oh, B. Oh, never mind. And in 2025, they're just going to make that call that it's Sakamoto Days? It has... The year's not over yet? That's wild that show of all things is the most popular. Huh. Okay. C tier. Oof. Oh, that's their tier list right there, fellas. They didn't put technically Tokyo Ghoul is 1 above S on their ranking technically. Oh well, that's the game. Their lowest, their most recent F tier, like the latest is like Onisama A. Everything else is older. And their first S tier was Urusei Yatsura, which is based. I have to say that's nice to see. But then not another one for another 16 years between 81 and 97. Hard to get super upset or mad about it or whatever, but like they're getting their asses beat. Older than I thought? It's actually not that old. Like compared to like Disney. Like, huh? Okay, so as you can see, there's a couple of movies and small things, but there's also sequels. They definitely ignored like, oh, we already did Lupin, so we won't do part two. Even though actually I didn't look at this, I wonder if part two is more popular than part one. It doesn't really matter if it's per year and stuff like that. It was really interesting seeing the progression of the amount of users that have these anime in their logs, in their lists and stuff like that. It just kind of tracks like how prolific Mal is being used, and the fact that I feel like I remember some lists were barely getting like a million. Like, it was a big deal that there was 1 million members who had Death Note and Attack on Titan on their lists, and now you have like these newer titles getting 2, 3, and then the most popular, like Death Note and Attack on Titan stuff, have 4 million people on their list. And the thing is, it's like a lot of it's probably bots and stuff like that. Popularity is very squishy subject, because it's like the fact that Berserk has more users than Pokemon. Is Berserk a more popular title than Pokemon? No, maybe that's pretty close, but like Berserk, if anything, will give it a run for its money, but like Pokemon, dude. Yeah, so Tales of the Street Corner, some sources said with Big X. Horus Prince of the Sun has more users than Cyborg 009, the 60s version. Belladonna of Sadness, it is a fairly strong title despite being lost media. It's probably a lot of bots or just people who just put it on their list for the sake of it or whatever, but it's straight up lost, and the 79 version is really what people remember. Belladonna of Sadness is the only title that does have more members. Voltes V, this was interesting. So not obviously Lupin Part 2 is more popular, but they ignored that sequel. But then they didn't look at the next one down to see that Nobody's Boy Remy actually has more members listed than Voltes V. So technically they should have watched Ie Nakiko, and that would have been a banger episode 1. But like, here's the thing, right? I'll go through all of these. It's like, oh, they should have watched that. It wouldn't have made a fucking difference. They don't have good taste. Like, that's just it. It's just, unfortunately, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe they would have liked stuff, but the fact that the way they were watching things and the frame and format and everything, it wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have made a difference. But it's just interesting to see that, oh, technically, Remy should be on this list. And if we're counting sequels, Lupin Part 2 would be on this list. Ashinojo 2 is actually more popular than Inion, and that makes sense, given how incredibly popular the first Ashinojo is, and I'm very, very happy to see that, frankly. Nausicaa blows Fist of the North Star out of the water, like 403,000, I think, compared to about 100,000 for Fist. Interesting is both Zeta Gundam as well as Vampire Hunter D, the original Vampire Hunter D, are both more popular than Touch. 88 is where it gets silly. It gets very silly. So Samurai Troopers is their pick for 1988. The year that had My Neighbor Totoro, Grave of the Fireflies, LOGH, Char's Counterattack, City Hunter 2, Patlabor, the OVA, Appleseed, Dominion Tank Police has more, just a few more members than Samurai Troopers. Vampire Princess Miyu, Akira, obviously, Dragon Ball Movie 3, Gunbuster, and Demon City Shinjuku. All of those have more members on Mal than Samurai Troopers, which has about 22k, I think. Not a great pick there. And then they gave it an F. It's like, oh, all right. Ranma Half, they have Dragon Ball Z and Kiki's Delivery Service have more members, obviously. Nadia, is fairly popular, but Lotus War beats it. And then obviously Dragon Ball Z Movie 3 and Dragon Ball Z Bardock beat it. But obviously 90 and 91 are fairly dry years, all things considered. So it's not hard for these DBZ movies to beat these numbers. But yeah, Onisma A, the only ones that beat it, it is the most popular TV series. But DBZ Movie 4, Movie 5, and Only Yesterday when it beat it out. Onisma A only has like 54k. But Detective Conan, this is interesting. Dragon Ball GT, of course. Rurouni Kenshin is more popular than Detective Conan, as well as Golden Boy. So like OVAs they didn't look at, I understand. sequels, I get it. So it was like Realm Reborn Remedy in 77, and I can see the logic because it's a different season and Lupin was ahead of it. They might have missed it. How could they miss this? Like, they're right next to each other. Detective Conan is third on the same season, like the winter season. I don't know, maybe they're using AniList or something. I really don't know. What's up with this? Did they think they would get in trouble or something for including Kenshin or whatever because of the whole author situation? But it is more popular, at least on Mal, than Detective Conan. Of course, no, Detective Conan would be the most popular one globally, or just significant wise. It's still going, and like there's a whole theme park in Japan kind of based on it and whatever. Like, it makes sense to put it there. But if we're going strictly by their logic, which pretty much all of this tracks, Berserk is a very strong contender, but it doesn't beat Princess Mononoke and End of Evangelion. Spirited Away, obviously, more popular than Hellsing. Although I didn't really look that hard. I think Hellsing does handily beat everything else in 01. I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't beat Spirited Away, obviously. Not very fair, but Gurren Lagann does get beat out by Naruto Shippuden. Kind of obvious. Fairy Tail does get beat out by FMA Brotherhood pretty handedly. And then the rest of this is just extremely boring. It really is like, yeah, obviously AOT2 and MHA2 beat Black Clover. 3 and 3 beat Violet Evergarden. Final Season beats Horimiya. And then JJK2 beats Frieren. And Soul Leveling 2 so far is beating Sakamoto Days and everything else. It's actually really, I think it's probably just the recency thing. Like, these are only a few years old or whatever. But you'd think if anime's gotten so much bigger since the pandemic, that the numbers would kind of reflect the other. But it seems like a lot of the pandemic watchers are watching the older stuff, and that's why like Toradora is at 2 million, Wild and other stuff like that. Anyway, that's pretty much the extent of this video. I probably may have misinterpreted something in their video because of something they said in it, and I'm being ignorant by plugging my ears and not listening to them. But no, I'll take those. I'll take that L. If there's a genuine misunderstanding or something like that, like, sure. But like, I understand why I wouldn't really want to take. I don't really want to take their video in good faith. I don't see it worth doing that, really. When this is really just like a content farm, and they shouldn't care less about what other people think of it if it just gets them the ad revenue and stuff like that, right? So no, I'm not gonna care. All right, you guys are great. See you next time. Yo, peace.